Hi all, welcome to day 9 of our 100 days of DevOps journey. So let's get started. Today we'll be discussing about servers, what are servers and what are their types and use cases for those servers. So in DevOps or in any kind of like any kind of infrastructure, okay, if there is a web server, if anything you are using on the network, there is a server behind it. Okay, whether it be as simple as IP allocation, IP like if I just tell you here, if I just run this command ifconfig, okay, here this IP is allocated to this particular system. Okay, so there is a server that has provided this IP to this machine. Then this IP, there is something behind that associated this IP to this particular machine. So that's how complicated the servers are. So servers are the backbone of most technology system that we interact on daily basis. From website to apps, everything runs on server. Somewhere in this video I'll be covering server, and there are types of server, and we'll check we'll have some live example of those one of the kind one of the server type. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, what is a server? I think we have discussed on someday, like let's just see. Or I have better server. So a server is basically, it is a physical device at very high level. It is a physical device. This is called physical server. Okay, physical server. Though we can change it to like, it can be virtualized. Servers can also be virtualized. So we have seen servers like EC2 instances and other. So those are virtualized servers. Okay, those are virtualized servers. So this is a physical server, let's say, or I think a suitable thing is this. This is a server. That was a server rack to be precise. This is a physical server. So what is a server? As simple as that, a server. Okay, whatever you request, if it is designated to do that particular task, it will serve you. Okay, suppose if I here I'm a like laptop. Okay, this is my system. Okay, this is called client. This is called client, and there is some kind of network. Okay, so let's just say this is network or internet, anything. Okay, so through the network we'll just contact this server. Okay, we'll contact this particular server, and it will let's make it, oh, it is text, no problem with that. Okay, so these are the requests. Okay, this is request. Okay, and what it will do through the internet itself, this is called response. Okay, so if you request something, the server will respond to that request. Okay, if it is designated for that particular, let's say, green magenta. Okay, so that's how a server and client is related. Okay, whole thing is going through the internet only, internet or any kind of network. So let's just understand how many types of servers are there. So the very common one is a web server or application server, we can say. Though they are a little different from each other depending on their performance. So let's just see. Part one is web server. Okay, web server. So what are web server used for? So first thing is, mostly works on HTTP, HTTPS protocols. Everything like you are streaming this YouTube and everything. So there is a web server that protocol. Sorry, yeah, HTTP and HTTPS protocol. Then there is port 80. HTTP works on port 80 and HTTPS works on port 442. 80/443. These are the ports on which web servers are working. Most common examples of that are Apache HTTP server, Apache HTTP server. Okay, let's just say here examples, Apache HTTP server, and then there is our Nginx. Nginx has multiple use cases. So we'll check some of the examples with Nginx and Apache. Then there are Tomcat, uh, IIS on Windows Server. Okay. This I think Tomcat and IIS are for they are also application servers as well. So this, okay. Then there are uh, what are the, okay, yeah. So web servers are mostly used for hosting websites. Webs Used for hosting websites. Okay, websites or web application. So that's how web servers are aware. This Microsoft IIS, Nginx, Apache. Okay, like e-commerce website, Amazon, or this. So serving content to user over the internet or internet. So these are web servers. Similarly, we have app servers or application servers. Okay, application server. So what does application server do? Host and run applications. So web servers are just like these. Web servers are most likely hosting the websites. Okay, websites are simple to use, something like that, some blogs, e-commerce website or everything. So you can directly, however, this uh, application server and web server, application server hosts complicated softwares. Okay, so some of most common, and these software have has their host complex software. Okay, have ports are defined by their software by the software. Okay, then so mostly they act as middle layer between front end back end database. Okay, so most common examples are JBoss server for Java application, Java based application. Then WebSphere, JBoss, WebSphere, and Tomcat is application server. So I think, yeah, web server, these are web servers, and these are, so that's how application server. So application like business applications that are CRM tools, or uh, so application servers are mostly for complex software, to run complex softwares. Then all of these are backed by some kind of databases. Okay, some kind of database is running behind this, like any website, any responsive website, then there is database server. So database servers are depending on their software. Okay, hosts the database required for application. Okay, web or app server. Okay, now the ports of these database server depending on the software. So first of all, let's understand the example. Okay, example is like we have Postgres. First of all, most common MySQL. Okay, MySQL runs on MySQL. Wait a minute, let me check. I forgot actually MySQL. There are default ports that are assigned to these. Like for MySQL, yeah, 3306. Postgres, PostgreSQL. So it has, I think, 5432. Then there is Postgres SQL, Oracle DB we have. Okay, Oracle DB, I think 1521. Yeah, 1830. And MariaDB and this MySQL have the same port. SQL Server, Microsoft MS SQL, MS SQL Server also operates on, I think, 1433. Yeah, 1433. So these are for structured query language, SQL servers. Okay, and then there are no SQL as well. So let's just see those as well. Wait a minute. Okay, so there are different types of servers available. Different types, multiple options available for, like MongoDB. MongoDB, I think 27017. Yes, 27017. As far as I can remember, 27017 is this. Then Neo4j, Neo4j, it is for 7474. Yes, 7474. So these are some of the ports for this. Yeah, so these are some of the servers which are available. Some of the database servers. Okay, there are multiple other options available, like which one? So here are some of them on which I have worked on, and mostly on MySQL, Postgres I have worked on, Oracle I haven't. MS SQL once, MongoDB a lot, Neo4j twice, thrice, depending on the project. So yeah, then there is I think Elasticsearch also. Elasticsearch is I'm not sure if we can consider it. 9200 and 9300. Okay, these two are the ports on which these database servers are operating. So database servers are mostly used for data storage, okay, managing large amount of structured and non-structured data of application based on social. So depending on social network data, application data, banking platform, e-commerce, various. Okay, so these are the database servers. Then there are file servers also available. So file servers. So it is for hosting files, manage file, allowing user to save and access, like your Google Drive. Okay, so it some kind of file server. Port I'm not sure on which port it works. So yeah, there is one more thing. Database does not save file. Okay, database does not save file. It stores the metadata of where the file is stored. Okay, so saving file in database or database server is not a very good option. Database should operate freely, and files are stored in the file server, because it file server directly uses the storage. Okay, storage for saving the file. So centralized storage of any organization, like if you are working in an enterprise, so there is a centralized storage. Okay, everything is stored in this file server. Then if we are talking about enterprises, then there is oh, storing and managing files. Okay, files. So this is one thing. Then there is email server. Okay, where we were, web server we have seen. Okay, web server. Proxy is also FTP server animal. Yeah, FTP server. File servers are mostly for FTP also, but FTP is basically for file transfer protocol. Beside every there is this. If we have file server, then there is FTP server also available. I think they are both same or something like that. FTP server. FTP server is for transferring files. So FTP, I think file and file server and FTP server. No, those are different. FTP allows the transferring files, like upload, download. Okay, upload, download. Both tasks are done by FTP. Okay, so there are different types of what we can say tools are used for transferring files. FTP, SFTP, there are protocols. Okay, in fact we can create a simple file server today itself by using Apache web server. So it can allow us mostly to download the file, not upload the file. So yeah, then there is this file server we have, and one more thing, email server. Okay, email server. Okay, and anything that goes over the network has some kind of server behind it. Okay, so let's just understand this. Mail server, yes. So mail servers are mostly for mail management. Okay, mail management. So these are like what, SMTP, yes, simple mail transfer protocol. Then there is POP3, IMAP, yeah, IMAP protocol, which is Internet Message Access Protocol. Then there is POP3, so Post Office Protocol version 3. So I haven't used this, but SMTP and IMAP I have used. POP3, little to none idea about this POP3. So what does mail server, features of mail server are like spam filtering. Okay, protection against virus, depending on the configuration of a mail server. Okay, user authentication, like it allows you allows user to have this email ID we have, and it authenticates and authenticates the user against that. Okay, data backup, restoration. So there are multiple things. Mostly it works on SSL, which is again some SSL TLS for encryption, so that your mails are encrypted depending on the server configuration. We have email server. Then yeah, like we have seen the email. Okay, so email have this example.com, something like that. So there is one more thing which is called DNS server. Okay, domain name server. DNS, domain name server. It manages the domain names allocated to the IPs. Okay, so domain name server like root DNS, or so we can share. In fact, in local system also we can configure domain name server. Domain name server, I think by host name. There is one more thing in which we can. There is a file where we can host name. I think in etc host. Yes, yes, this file host. Okay, so in this file you can directly provide IP and the host. Like here, this is for local host. This IP, I think host name. This is host name we have, and host allow host deny. Here you can block, whitelist, blacklist the hosts, and host.conf. Let's see. Okay, multi on order host bind. So order line is only used for old version. Okay, so it is very simple. So if I just say like cat slash etc slash hosts like IP 192.168.1.12, and uh, there would be this. What would be the name? Like hari.local, hari.local.com. Okay, I have saved this, and I'm pinging this particular. I hope it will. Yeah, it is pinging this IP. So that's how you can. So this is domain name server. This is how you can configure a domain name. So for this, over the internet there are certain servers like this 8.8.8, if you know 8.8.8.8. So this is Google's server, Google DNS server. Okay, and there is, I think, 9.9.9.9 public domains DNS. We can anyway, we can anytime look over the internet though. Public DNS servers. So here we have, yeah, Google, this secondary DNS. Then this is Quad 9, Cloudflare also. Okay, Cloudflare, Google, Quad, and Open DNS. So these are some of the domain name servers in which your domain this .com. Okay, .com, .org, any domain that you register are mostly stored in these servers, and then you can reach out if any of the domain that is not registered in. If you are using the DNS, okay, you have configured your DNS like my if I check, I think in my network configuration, there is this network manager. So this is my Wi-Fi settings, I think. So here, this is the DNS. Mostly it is for my, this is the IP of my modem. Okay, my router. So that's how we can see it. We can configure these servers, these IPs over there, the IPs that we have seen. So yeah, these are the IPs. Control D, these Google, Quad, AdGuard. Okay, and clean browsing. So different DNS are available. Sometimes these DNS will help you to filter the ads also. And DNS server. So similarly, like these DNS servers, we have. Wait a minute. So we have seen, yeah, DHCP server. Okay, DNS server and then DHCP server. Yeah, so critical DNS servers are very critical in networking, enable users to connect to the websites and services. If any of, like, you have set up 8.8.8.8 Google's DNS server, okay, as your primary, and if it gets failed, so you won't be able to access the internet. Okay, not like if you have saved only that one, otherwise you have to change to another one, and then automatic DNS for I think DNS forwarding or something like that, that term. So it will allow you to use the internet. So that's how you can use it. Similarly, we have DHCP server. Okay, DHCP DHCP server. So DHCP server is dynamic host configuration protocol. Host configuration. So what are hosts? Hosts are mostly the machines connected in a network. Okay, so it assigns, it manages, okay, manages IP allocation to hosts in a network. IP allocations in a network like subnet mask, default gateway, DNS server, okay, everything beside. So it has a list of, like, for DNS server it will assign a particular IP. For default gateway it will assign a assign a particular IP. For subnet mask, like you have seen 255.255.2, so .0. So these are for subnet mask. Okay, this IP is assigned to that. So that's how DHCP server is used. Okay, where did it go? Where I have been. So database server we have seen. Then game server. Game server is also a crucial thing over here. Like application server, web server, there is game server. Okay, what does game server do? Game server mostly hosts the this game engine, Unity game engine. We have seen game server. If you are playing games, online games, then we have these servers are enabled for several computer or gaming devices. Okay, play multiplayer games, personal computer on gaming. So there are a lot of things over here running on the game server side. So on game server, where yeah, game server, it basically hosts TCP, UDP. Okay, it works on TCP or UDP protocol, depending on mostly on UDP protocol if the real-time data is game engine. Okay, gaming engines works on UDP mostly, TCP, TCP IP and UDP protocol, depending on TCP IP for crucial data transfer like login data, authentication data, and UDP for real-time data. And there are some kind of engines which are running for Unity game engine. Then there is physics engine. Okay, physics engine. So we'll see when I haven't worked on any game server configuration, but yeah, game server, it has multiple GPUs in this. Progress, game item, maps, or everything are stored in this. Then time uh, time configurations. Okay, so these are some of the server. Then where did it come? We have seen these. And what are other servers? Yeah, proxy server. Proxy server is very much important over here. So proxy server is also one part of our server. So proxy servers. So proxy servers are mostly to network security part, network security and masking part. So used for network security, caching, okay, masking between clients and server, enhancing security, caching, and managing internet traffic. Okay, uh, I just so we'll learn more about proxy. How are they working? There are multiple types of proxy, and like reverse proxy, mostly this reverse proxy and forward proxy. Okay, so how do they work? We'll understand that. These are proxy servers, so intermediate between client and server, like here in internet. Okay, here on internet, I'll just say, so this is client, this is internet, and this is the server, some kind of domain, example.com, google.com, or anything. So how would I connect to this? I have to I just have one internet wait a minute, yeah, ISP in between. Okay, internet service provider. So that I'll send a request to internet service provider on behalf of me. Internet service provider go to internet, and here there is some kind of reverse proxy. This is forward proxy. Okay, then there is some kind of reverse proxy before this server, which will collect my request, and on behalf of that, it will request this server and get back. So that's how internet proxy and proxy servers are working. Okay, so yeah, so these are some of the servers that are crucial in our DevOps world. So yeah, this is all for today. This is for this is mostly the security part. Let's just dig deeper in our practical part. So I'm turning on my yeah, this server. What is happening? I hope the IP it has started. So there are multiple. So today we'll start with the web server setup, and tomorrow we'll configure the same. Today I'm just installing some of the servers like one minute, hold on, SSH. Yeah, it is not connecting. What happened? Okay, new IP has been allocated to this. No problem. You can work with new IP. Hmm. So why does this happening? Okay, that is because the same host which we have connected has different IP earlier, which was 1.14. Okay, now it is 1.9. So it is to kind of some kind of identification as remote host identification has been changed. Okay, so some kind of spoofing or something like that. To prevent that, our SSH client has blocked this. If you trust this, so first of all I have to remove the host. First of all I'll just show you where you can see the hosts, saved hosts, SSH and known host. Okay, so these are the signatures of the host that I have connected. Okay, so I have to remove this host key. So how can I do that? This command it has shared. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Original IP I have to provide, which is 14. Original content. Yeah, line number 5 and line number 6. Just clear this. Now let's just try again. Yes, and yeah, I'm in my DevOps machine. Okay, this server. So first of all let me check if I have Apache not found. Nginx. Okay, I http httpd. Okay, it is not available. No worries, we can anywhere look on the internet, which is Apache to Apache http server download. Yeah, here you can see. So Apache is one of the well known. Then there is Nginx web server download. We'll see Nginx as well. Mostly will Nginx has multiple different capabilities as compared to Apache. Okay, first of all let's just go for Apache right now, and we'll see Nginx later on. So HTTP. Oh my god, there are a lot of things. Okay, no worries. I can directly install sudo apt-get install Apache 2. Apache 2 is the web server. Yes. So it is installing on the dependencies for working for Apache working. Let's just see. Okay, sudo systemctl status Apache. Apache 2 is currently inactive. Started status active. On which port it is working right now? Port 80 is showing. Is it showing somewhere? Started Apache server. Let's just check. 192.168 1.9. Yeah, Apache is working. So this is the Apache homepage. We can anywhere configure it. Okay, here these are the, if you can see over here, the configuration files are in Apache 2 config port config. Okay, which port right now on port 80 we are working on. Port 80 we are seeing. Then Apache, yeah, var www public HTML pages are hosted in this var www file. Then directly we can see the logs in var.logs. Okay, so how would we, let's just see. Simple website data, basic website using HTML CSS. We cannot say HTML website. Do we have style? Yes, this particular. So I'm copying this. Okay, let's just see etc apache 2 apache2.conf. Then there is port.conf. So there are multiple configurations which are available in this server. Okay, apache conf mods enable load.port.conf. Okay, on which port do you want to access this apache server? We can see ports.conf. So listen 443 443, listen on 80 if module ssl module, if ssl is enabled, then 443. How can we apply ssl to this server? We can see we'll see later on in apache. So this is a very basic server. Then let's just go to cd where www html ls, yes, cd html. Okay, so here index dot that particular index dot html we were seeing. Okay, I'll just rename it apache default. Okay, apache default, permission denied because we are in. Okay, apache default. If we just go to our, where did it go? Yeah, to this server, I think it would not show. Yes, apache default it is showing. Okay, index.html is the default file. By name index.html we can directly see. So here this is kind of like a file download server. You can download any of these files. We have renamed it. So git clone this particular file. There is one more thing that we can do rather than have this beginner HTML site styled. Okay, let's just hyphen if everything is in this file now. Okay, we have index.html. Let's just refresh our page. Yeah, Mozilla is cool. So that's how we can update. Now our web server is currently working. So this is right now it is the IP. We can also use domain also. What domain that we have configured? I think in our in this file. Okay, we have configured this domain, right? 192.168 not 1.900 days of DevOps dot hurry. Okay, let's check if this particular IP, yes, it is working. So let's go back to here. Oh, no, not this one. HTTP. Yeah, it is working. So this is how you can. So this is the domain name. Okay, this is the domain name that we have provided. We have configured a DNS in our system, and here it is available. So this is how you can run a website on a web server. We'll understand more about web server and how to uh, what are the challenges for hosting a web application and how to configure them in our journey. Mostly I have worked on multiple web applications itself. So there are multiple things that we can do to run a website or web application. And uh, what are the best practices to host a website, and how are what are the challenges that we face in those websites and other. So we'll see in our journey. So thank you all for yeah, for let's connect tomorrow and see and dig deeper in this web server configuration. Yeah, thank you all. Have a nice day.